Okay, so what we have here is this old Keuffel and Esser set that I picked up. Check out the case. It's got this nice, really cool kind of tweed jacket on it. Reminds me of an old Fender guitar amp, which is really cool. I don't know when this thing's from. I'm guessing 50s maybe, I don't know. There it is. Again, I just like the color. It's got this cool tweed appearance here, and then this kind of like terracotta brown felt liner, and then this dark brown. It's just a cool look to it. Kind of a classic, in my mind, 50s/60s look to it. It's got this old dingy, dirty, mangy cloth that's seen some use. This case has maybe been through, been around the block a few times, seen some battle and some usage, but it's in pretty good shape. You know, it's not mint condition, it's not all pristine and perfect chrome and anything, but it's nevertheless is a super good set, in pretty good shape. Mechanically, it's great. Aesthetically, it's got a few scratches and whatnot. Check this thing out. Of course, you have it's a simple set, kind of. You know, you've got your big compass, small compass, divider. Some people say dividers. I prefer to say divider in the singular. You could call it either or. Doesn't really matter, I guess. And then you have this ruling pen here. I kind of don't think this ruling pen even belongs to this set. You can see it's missing hardware there, and it's got this detachable little metal handle. It just doesn't seem like it fits with this style and this era. I don't really know, but that's my guess, is that this is just thrown in from somewhere else. Anyways, let's have a look at the large compass. Take a look at that. You've got the K&E logo right there on both sides of that hinge pin, as I call it, which I think is a cool feature. You've got the classic K&E little arrow herringbone type design on the center thumb wheel, which I love. And you've got the spring there. Again, that's just a nice fat spring, kind of tapers out. It's a good design. And you've got these solid legs. There's no joints. There's not even a removable lead holder that you can swap out or do anything with that. It's just your classic standard, you know, spring bowspring compass. Very well made. Chrome plated brass, I take it. You can see in here, you can see the brass there on the threaded insert there. And again, you've got just the fine machine threads here. This just feels super smooth. Again, mechanically, this is in great shape. What I mean by that is, you know, all the thumb screws and the screws, nothing's stripped out. Everything holds tight, everything holds well. Everything fits well together still. So even though it's got some scratches and bruises and bumps and whatnot, it's in great shape mechanically. And again, just when it comes to this kind of equipment, this drafting instruments, drafting tools, for me, it's the little details that make the difference. Like, for example, I like that this has this little flathead screw there. Kind of reminds me of the rifler sets. And then if you look at the thumb screw there, see how it has that standoff there? It gives you some extra space there for your fingers to get in there. And even that, it's got a little taper to it. That's a good design. It's handsome, easy to use, holds well. Of course, that's got a different style there. This has the type of needle where it's got a post that goes through, and there's a hole in the post where the needle goes through. So if I was to pull this needle out, this screw would just drop right out. I'm not going to show you that right now, but that's how that works. And again, the little details of this, I just like a lot. Let's try it out real quick. Oh, it came with this nice shoulder needle, which is actually still nice and sharp. So I haven't sharpened the lead. It's just like a dull crayon, pretty much. Yeah, it's just nice and solid. Very good compass. Very happy with that. Let's have a look at the small one. Here's the baby. Again, this is just a copy of the larger one, just smaller in scale. And this one has similar features, has that nice little thumb screw there with the standoff. This one's got the removable piece here, removable lead holder. This can be fitted with this piece, which has the needle. And then you have a divider right there. You know, I guess you could use this as a small divider for making small, for small projects, you know. That's that. Do you notice that difference in color there? There's like a more of a, I don't know if I'd call that a silver blue chrome. That's kind of got a yellowish tinge to it. Maybe that's got a different finish on there. And this piece, of course, when you push it in, if I can get it in, hear that snap? That has such a nice fit. Okay. Again, this has the nice, really fine machine threads on here. You can see the brass, the kind of fat brass threaded insert there. This doesn't have the shoulder needle. It's got a regular, like, kind of divider style needle, but it feels very good in the hand. Again, these leads aren't sharpened. They're just dull as a big crayon right now. Feels very nice, very functional, very nice little compass. Then we have here the divider, however you want to say it. Again, you've got the K&E logo stamped, not on one side, but on both sides. Very nice feature. This feels really smooth, really nice. I already took a flathead and tightened this screw right here because it was a little bit too loose for my liking, and now it feels just right. You know, you don't want them too firm, you don't want them too loosey-goosey, just flopping around, obviously. But you wouldn't want it to be so stiff that it was hard to move. And of course, this design is you've got these little arms coming off here, off the legs. Those attached to a little post in there that slides up and down inside this jacket. Anyways, nice classic set of dividers. And of course, this has double-sided needles, so these could be flipped around. I imagine the ones inside here are just, you know, super sharp and unused, most likely. You've got this post here that keeps it from bottoming out all the way. Of course, these are kind of out a little bit too far, so those are touching before it even does that. So that's the divider. And again, as previously mentioned, I don't think this rolling pin matches the set. You got this little guy here, which I don't know what that's called really. You would use that in the center of your drawing as like a push it down into your paper or whatever, and that would give you 1 point to put your needle in to do a bunch of stuff, and I guess not tear a hole in the paper, but you of course would have the hole from the tack underneath here. There's a screwdriver, and then of course you got your spares here. Now, one way I know this is older as opposed to newer, if I can even get this thing out, or this out, need some help here, is the metal. You know, in the newer sets, these started changing to be plastic, so when everything's metal, you just know that it's most likely older than newer. And so this little looks like a fat pill. And also in the older sets, they just give you lots of stuff. Look at that. You've got a total of 5 screws and 5 thumb wheels for the various parts and pieces on these compasses and divider. And then this longer tube, we've got, let's do this over here. Look at that. Some leads, 2 leads, and 3 needles. One of them's a nice shoulder point needle, and then you got 2 divider style needles, I'm calling them. So not too bad, especially for this set being old as it is and looking a little used. Put that back in there. All in all, this is a nice set. Like I said, it's a little beat up, a little scratched up, but in excellent mechanical condition, and I look forward to using it. Thanks for watching.